What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is a class to help you unwind from your day and prepare for sleep. If you have space for it, I recommend that you do this class next to your bed so that you're able to just crawl right in and fall asleep afterwards. And I also suggest that you grab some kind of cushion, a pillow, or a folded up blanket, something that you can place underneath your hips to help take pressure off of your low back while we're seated. That's how we're going to start, is seated. I'll be turned to the side, but you can face whichever way you like. So your props underneath your hips. Bring the bottoms of your feet together, knees open out to the sides like a book. And if this doesn't feel awesome in your knees, you can place a couple blocks underneath your knees or some pillows to help prop the knees up. And just take a second here to kind of rock side to side, forward and back until you feel like you're resting on your sits bones. Not your tailbone here, which tends to happen when we sit at a desk all day. Rock your weight forward. It might feel weird at first. Sitting on your sits bones, tall, comfortable spine. And just give yourself a few moments to show up, to check in with yourself. Observe your energy level. If there's an emotion or thought really present for you right now. Maybe there's a place in your body that is calling for your attention. Start to notice your breath now. Notice how and where you're breathing. And then let your next breath come in deep through your nose. And exhale through your mouth through just softly parted lips. Do that a couple more times. Big breath in through your nose. Soft exhale through parted lips. Once more like that, filling up with breath through your nose. And exhale through parted lips, soft jaw, soft tongue. And come back to your natural breath. And then just let your head fall heavy. Your chin drops towards your chest. Trying to stay anchored on your sits bones still. And you could stay just like this, breathing into the back of your neck and your shoulders. Or next time you inhale, rock your chin over to your right shoulder. Maybe the chin rotates up towards the ceiling slightly. Your exhale, rotate the chin down and it drops to the center of your chest again. Inhale, your head rocks over to the left, chin rotates up towards the ceiling. And exhale, chin spirals down and drops back to center. You can keep moving like that or in any other way that would feel good. Just gentle movements in your neck. When that feels complete, bring your head back to center. Give yourself a few shoulder rolls. Soft forehead, soft jaw. And then bring your awareness into your rib cage. And imagine you're trying to draw a circle with your rib cage. So inhale, your chest stretches forward, reach the center of your rib cage forward. Exhale, scoop and round as you pull back. Inhale, sweeping forward. So just drawing a circle with your rib cage in a way that makes sense for you. And connect the movement to your breath. Inhale, one half. Exhale, the other. When that rotation is complete, move in the other direction. Still moving with your breath. It doesn't need to be perfect. Pouring into yourself after being pulled in a million directions likely during the day. Nourish yourself with your breath. About one more round like this. Finish that rotation, come back to center. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Maybe your gaze looks up. Be gentle with your neck. Exhale, bring your palms together at heart center. Take a full round of breath in and out. Bring your hands to the outsides of your knees and guide your knees back together. And take the cushion out from underneath your hips and just place that to the side. And slowly, mindfully transition to hands and knees, tabletop. Spread your fingers wide. Hands shoulder distance apart, knees hip distance apart. And gaze just in front of your fingertips. Feel the ground underneath you. Find your breath. Inhale, tailbone tilts towards the ceiling. Start to stretch your heart forward, lift your gaze. Exhale, drop your head, round your spine, tailbone draws under. This rolling wave of your spine. Inhale, tailbone points towards the ceiling. Stretch your heart forward, lift your gaze. Exhale, your head drops, round your upper back, mid back, low back. Keep going. And if that's too much, just inhale opens you. And exhale rounds your spine. Stay gentle with yourself. And know at any time you can come back to that soft exhale out through your mouth, through parted lips. Feel the stress and tension drain out of your body with every exhale. Couple more like that. And when that feels complete for you, widen your knees apart, just a little bit wider than your hips. And let your hips settle back towards your heels. Reach your arms forward. And start to let your head drop down towards the floor. Now, if there's a lot of space between your head and the floor, you can bring that cushion back in and rest your forehead on the cushion or whatever prop you have. And if your knees aren't loving this, you can roll up a blanket or fold up a blanket and place it behind your knees or even underneath your knees. Play with that a little bit. Find what works for you. We won't be here too long. On every inhale, breathe into your low belly, your back, your hips. You exhale, everything softens and melts into the floor. Sweet breath in. An option to softly exhale through parted lips. Two more rounds of breath, no rush. Slowly start to lift your head, gazing towards your fingers. And start to transition onto your belly. And prop yourself up on your elbows like you're laying on the ground reading a book. Sphinx Pose. Your hands or your arms are about shoulder width apart. And you play with how far forward or far back your elbows are. More forward will decrease the back bend. Elbows closer to your ribs will put a little bit more pressure on your low back. It's good compression on your spine. And imagine you're laying belly down on a skateboard and you're trying to pull yourself forward. So your shoulder blades soften down your back, your collarbones broaden. Feel your belly breathe into the floor, and it pulls away from the floor with every cycle of breath. As best you can, minimal tension in your jaw. Relax your eyes, maybe they close. Savor your breath. One more sweet breath in. And then start to lower yourself down. Stack one hand on top of the other and rest your head on top of your hands. Follow your breath as it moves in and stay with it all the way to the bottom as it moves out. With every exhale, you feel yourself sink into the floor a little bit more. Bring your hands by the sides of your chest and super gentle, work your way back to tabletop, hands and knees. No rush at all. And take any movement that might feel good. You can rock side to side or find little side bends or more of that arching and rounding, whatever you need. No wrong way here. And then eventually, slide your right knee towards your right wrist. Your right foot kind of swings out to the side. And reach your left leg back behind you for pigeon pose. Now, your knee might be telling you, absolutely not happening. You can flip onto your back and cross your right ankle over your left knee. Same stretch, just a different way to get there. So find the option that works best for you. Not pushing too hard, not forcing. If you're on your back, it might even feel good to hold on to the back of your left thigh. But we're trying to release tension here. So perhaps less is more. Give yourself 3 to 5 rounds of intentional breath into your hips, low back, heavy shoulders, soft jaw. Good. Take all the time you need to work your way back into child's pose. If you're face down here, if you're on your back, just uncross your legs And widen your feet apart and let your knees fall into one another for constructive rest. Either in child's pose or constructive rest here. Exhaling through softly parted lips. When you feel called to, we'll find that shape on the other side. So your left ankle crosses over your right knee if you're on your back. And if you're facing down, your left knee will come towards your left wrist. And it could be drastically different right and left side. So adjust as you need to. Give yourself what you need. It's really hard to push and force yourself into relaxation and into softness. So do less. Let yourself be with your breath, and thoughts and feelings are going to come in. You might still be stirring. It's normal. Let them pass through. Couple more breaths here. Drench your body in your breath. When you're ready, either slide back into child's pose if you're face down, or if you're on your back, uncross your legs. Feet come a little bit wider than your hips, and knees fall into one another. Just a few moments to reset, to allow things to settle, and consciously telling yourself to slow down. And if you aren't already, start to transition onto your back and find this constructive rest shape with your feet wider than your hips, knees come in towards one another, and hands rest on top of your belly. Observe your breath. Maybe it's changed a little bit since we started. Without forcing anything, invite your exhales to start to lengthen. Exhales slightly longer than your inhales. And if you're not sure, you could add numbers to your breath. Inhaling to a count of 3 and exhaling to a count of 4. Just a couple more like that. And start to tick-tock your feet in slightly so you're more hip distance apart in your feet. And move your awareness down into your pelvis. And like you're trying to rock this area to sleep. Inhale, your tailbone tilts down towards the ground. You'll feel your low back arch away from the floor a little bit. Exhale, draw your tailbone under. Inhale, tailbone tilts down, filling up your low belly with breath. Exhale, draw your tailbone under, empty of breath. It might take a few times to feel the rhythm of that, but once you find it, you may observe your head kind of just rocking with the movement. And then see if you can take out 50% of your effort, making the movement even smaller. If you were to look from the side, it might not even look like you're moving, but you can feel it. This subtle movement of your sacrum rocking back and forth. A few more times like that, seeing if you can make the movement even smaller. And you don't have to worry about that connection to breath. If that feels forced, let it go. Always coming back to that exhale through parted lips if that feels good. And then eventually find stillness. Feel the stability and support underneath you. And hug your knees in towards your chest, either holding on to your shins or behind your knees. And move in a circle one direction. Stay gentle. And then move in the other direction. Open your arms to the sides. And let both knees fall over to the right so you end up in a twist. And change the shape however you need so that it's effortless. Gravity does the work. That cushion or prop you have next to you could feel really good in between your knees. Give yourself some time to settle into it, to adjust. Less is more. At least 5 rounds of sweet breath in and out. Give yourself time to transition over to the other side. No rush. Eventually, knees fall over to the left side. Maybe this side you need a prop, maybe not. There's no forcing, no pushing. Sweet breath in and out. No rush at all. Knees come back to center. You can settle your props off to the side. If you'd like to, for this last part, you can crawl right into bed. And if you're on the floor, you can either have your knees bent or extend your legs straight out. And open your arms at your sides. Either palms up or down, see what feels right. And give yourself that time to let go of any wiggles or adjustments. Do a body scan from head to toe. And when you check in with those places, visualize them and feel them release tension. The top of your head, your forehead, eyes, your nose, cheeks, ears, jaw, mouth, neck, shoulders, arms, hands, chest, belly, back, hips, thighs, knees, calves, feet. Feel your whole body. Your whole body. Your whole body. Stay with this sensation and allow yourself to rest. Thank you so much for joining in. I'll see you in the next video.